All right, welcome back, everybody. It is the RP Show as we roll on. Gregg Zaun is an American baseball analyst, public speaker, and a coach. Still, I think he played for 9 teams over 16 seasons in the majors, winning a World Series championship in 1997. The product of, where are you from, Zani? Glendale, California, it says here. Is that
Glendale,
right?
California. Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
All right. Good to see you, brother. How you doing?
I'm doing great. Home from Mexico. I was managing a team down in there, in Cancun and the LMB. Started the year as the hitting coach, and then, they canned the manager 20 games in and hired me to do it on an interim basis because I turned the job down. I was like, I'm not doing this. But it was an interesting experience. Definitely learned a lot and enjoyed a couple of weeks off in August for the first time in 35 years. It's great, but back in Kelowna, my daughter started school today, so trying to figure out what's next.
All right. Well, I appreciate the time. We'll come back on that. Are you not going to go to Mexico then, or are you going to go back next year? What do you think?
I don't know. I don't know. I'm definitely not going back to Cancun. That's definitely not a situation I wanted to be a part of again. Um, but I haven't ruled anything out yet. Uh, it's September 2nd, I believe. So, uh, minor leagues are just finishing up. Uh, Major leagues are getting into the home stretch. So, uh, you might see some clubs reach out here shortly about my availability. At least I should say I'm hoping they do. Mexico, I've had a couple of teams already reach out about going back there to manage. Uh, Not sure about that yet. There's a possibility that I may stay here in Kelowna and do some managing here in Kelowna and try to build a big indoor training facility and tournament campus so that they have a place to host big tournaments and showcases here in Canada.
Well, as we all know, you've got a lot to offer. The viewers are just going nuts wanting to talk to you. I don't even know where to start. Blair in Calgary writes in, he says, great Labor Day weekend comment for Greg. You were one of my all-time favorite sports figures on TV, along with Matt Dunnigan. You are the best. That's from Blair in Calgary. Laverne in Swift Current says, hey, RP, can you get a top 3 from Greg, who he trusts coming out of the Blue Jays bullpen late in a game? I think they'll get
Oof,
it figured out eventually.
oof.
John Schneider is a smart and a good call. How concerned are you with the state of the Blue Jays bullpen right now?
They can give them some rest. My biggest thing is always fastball command. Now the game's changed. You don't see guys come in and try to paint down and away with a fastball. They're throwing, in my opinion, dumb pitches. They're spinning the ball more often, which means if you're throwing right on left sliders or cutters, you're throwing it right into the barrel. It's just they look at data completely different than I do. The new bats, the new balls, the ballparks make it pretty easy for little guys to go oppo. So you have to pitch a little bit differently. But at the end of the day, overexposure is overexposure. And when you're only expecting your thoroughbreds, your starting pitchers to go 5, well, your bullpen's going to have to cover 4 every night, and they're going to get exposed. They're going to get tired, and nobody really understands the amount of stress it puts on a guy to be working out of the bullpen. I mean, you might be up or in the game 3, 4 days in a row, depending on your durability. That takes its toll, and it's gonna catch up with them. Thank goodness for the Blue Jays. They have Bieber, Bassett, Barrios. They got Scherzer. They need to start riding those guys. Maybe with the exception of Bieber, they need to ride them deeper into ball games. Ask them to get 2, maybe 3 more outs, because at the end of the day, that bullpen, you're 2.5 up on the Yankees in Boston right now. These games are all matter in September. And the last thing you want is for these guys to be the reason why you don't make the playoffs, you don't go to the World Series. They've been good, but now it's time for the starting pitching to step up and get us 3 more outs, please. Yeah, I watched Hoffman. One of the first things I look for when a guy has had success and then all of a sudden the wheels are falling off is he tipping pitches. I haven't seen anything. Um, One thing I did notice, and my pal Jamie Campbell confirmed it, was this bullpen, they get a lot of outs on pitches outside of the strike zone, or at least they have. Well, Major League Baseball, they've got all this analytical data. They figured out, hey, go Statue of Liberty, take the. Don't give the bullpen easy outs. And you know what? That's exactly what happened to Ricky Romero. Ricky Romero, I think at one point was leading the major leagues on getting people out with pitches out of the strike zone. And all you got to do is look at the data, look at the grouping of the pitches in a chart, and you'll see he's not throwing a ball over a plate. So what happens is Major League Baseball figured it out in the bullpen, and they said they're not getting guys out in the strike zone. They're throwing the ball out of the zone. They're not throwing a lot of strikes. Let's just take a pitch. Oh, it's 1-0. Let's take another one. Now it's 2-0. Okay, now I can really hone in on the area that I want. I've got data to tell me exactly what this guy is going to throw in these situations when he's behind in the count. And so now I can lick my chops and just get really, really fine with my approach and say, here it is. So my opinion, get the bullpen some rest and get them some fastball command. If they can locate their fastball down and away at the knees, get strike one instead of having to throw it right down the middle, they'll have some more success.
You've had some pent up things to say, Zani. You've been ready to get that off
Yeah,
your
I know
chest.
that was a lot. Yeah, I was in the car a long time today. I've been waiting to talk to you, Roddy. I've been
Yeah.
messaging you like, where you at, buddy? What's going on? You're like a world traveler now. Some days the shows are from the U.S., some days from Canada. Like, holy smokes! I just
It's
been
not
trying to
as
hang out.
crazy.
Yeah, that's what happens when I
Mhm.
get 2 weeks off in August. I'm not used to this.
You stop and you see what's going on around the world. Exactly, but it's not as wild as you think.
Yeah,
It's nine months in Florida, where I've been for years. You said, and you won a World Series there in '97. Let me ask you something,
yeah.
because I can go to these viewer questions. I got a million for you. But how are the Marlins with the alumni? You won a World Series, for the love of God, yet I don't think you've been there for years.
Well, I would say, given my kerfuffle, whatever you want to call it with Sportsnet, I'm persona non grata. There's been a number of alumni events there over the last couple of years. Some teammates of mine I'm still in contact with, Kurt Abbott quite a bit. Jim Leland, Hall of Fame induction. There were ceremonies. I never even got a call. Never even got a
Hmm.
call. I was talking with Gabe Kapler and uh, McCullough about a job this last winter, and I don't know what the deal is. For some reason, there doesn't seem to be a whole lot of forgiveness out there for people that look like me, and it's kind of weird because Florida is a very red, forgiving, very a little more forgiveness in a place like alumni goes. They don't even ask me to come by.
Well, just so you know, don't be too offended. I don't think Joe Girardi's real high on the Marlins either. I know he wasn't on your '97 team, but Joe's a gym
No,
buddy of mine there, and it's just nobody ever really leaves the opposite of unscathed. Maybe that's is scathed. I don't know. But anyways, sorry I asked. Darren and
it's
Melfort
all
writes
good.
in. It's all good, buddy. Darren says, question for Zahn. Do you think the Jays have too many quality starters rather than not enough quality relievers?
No, you can't have too many because you're literally one injury away from needing one. The fact that they've got six, I think they just moved Lauer to the bullpen full time. Um, so really, it's fine, and he's done a good job. I mean, that kid, by all stretches of the imagination, should be in the rotation given what he's done. But when you got a guy like Shane Bieber show up and throw the way he's thrown, obviously you know what's going to happen. No, and their bullpen have had stretches of being quality. The household names, not really, but they're good. They're just going through a tough time right now. They're tired. They're out of gas and surprised. The way they baby pitchers nowadays, the way they coddle them, I mean, they don't work out the same. I don't think people prepare for baseball seasons the way they used to. And their workload is monitored, but for some reason, they will baby everybody in the game but the bullpen guys. They are reusable, recyclable, disposable entities, commodities that teams seem to use up and throw away. They'll ride them until they run out of gas and then they bring up somebody else or they go get somebody else. And it's funny. If you look at the way bullpen guys are signed, how long the contracts are, the length of their careers or the length of their so-called dominant window, it's usually about 2 years. And then there's a hiccup and then maybe they rebound and then they come back. It's never sustainable. It's never sustainable. And I think that's one of the major problems that they have with the game. One of the worst things that ever happened to baseball was when the Kansas City Royals won the World Series predominantly on the backs of their bullpen. And it's been every team trying to recreate that because bullpen arms are cheaper than starters. Plain and simple.
There you go. Brian in Regina writes in. He says, "Miss ya, Greg." Rich in Edmonton says, "Greg was always honest in his opinions, regardless of the network, also being the team owner." Rob in Las Vegas writes in. He says, "Where does the game-winning grand slam and extras in '08 against the Rays rank in your career?"
Yeah, it's probably one of my favorite moments. I had 2 walk-off grand slams and 3 game winners in the 8th or later. I did it. I'd have to say it probably ranks way up there other than winning the World Series because it actually gave birth to a conversation the next year when I got traded to Tampa where they were MFing me because I basically ended their playoff run there that year with that home run. And we were sitting around the table in Tampa on a Sunday morning and Percival's there and Pat Burrell, and they're like, "Hey, well, why don't you do something like that for us?" And I was like, "Well, tell Joe to get me in the lineup." Well, he got me in the lineup later. He brought me in against Brandon Egan. I hit a grand slam off Brandon against the Blue Jays, Tampa Bay Rays. So I would say, other than winning the World Series, that's one of my favorite moments because of the subsequent conversation and me basically calling my shot. It gave birth to that conversation.
Well, back to this reliever discussion for a second. You said they're worn out, they're tired. We still got, what is it, 30 games or close to it? Are they going to get the rest?
Yeah.
Like, how dire of a situation is this?
Well, I mean, when you look at it, think about you got X amount of innings to cover. Minimum 9 innings times 162. Well, how many innings have the bullpen covered for the Blue Jays this year? That the starters shouldn't have, or the starters didn't. My idea of a quality start is not 6 innings giving up 3 runs. That's a 4.5 ERA. When you break it down, you're like, is that really that good? They need to step up. The starters, they look like they're well rested to me. Go out there and be efficient. Give us 7. Give us 7. So I can choose between 3, 4, 5 guys to cover 6 outs. Give me 7. That to me, if I'm the pitching coach and the manager, right now I'm looking at my starters going, Barrios, Scherzer for sure. That guy's a horse. If Bieber can keep doing what he's doing, he might be the guy I say, okay, give me 6. I want to protect this. Bassett's been phenomenal. Come on, dude. Be effective. Stop trying to go 3-2 and strike everybody out. Let's get 3 outs in 15 pitches or less. Be efficient. Get me 7. Let my bullpen get me 6. That's the answer right there. How can we be more efficient as a staff? They got plenty of gas left.
Well, you've won a World Series. You've been to the top of the mountain, so you know what it takes. What wins in the fall, offense or defense, primarily?
Pitching and defense, timely hitting. The other team can't beat you if they don't score. And it's funny. I remember 1988, the Dodgers versus the Oakland A's. My uncle was playing for the Dodgers, and that was the brothers, and they were an offensive juggernaut. 88, also the year that Oral Hershiser put up the scoreless inning streak. Um,
Mm-hmm.
if they don't score, they can't beat you. And good pitching will always shut down good hitting. I don't care who you are, how good a hitter you are. If you got a bat in your hand, you got a weak spot. And if a pitcher can exploit that weak spot, You're not getting hits. And you're certainly not driving in runs with extra base hits. The pitching that can throw the ball. I mean, let's look at Shane Bieber. Holy smokes, the other day when he was pitching against the Marlins, there wasn't anything above mid thigh unless he wanted it to be. He's pitching down, down and away. And that's the way, that's the formula. Down and away for the money. You're going to, what? You're going to give up an opposite field single? If you have the ability to throw what you want, where you want it, and mix and match your speeds and try to find the holes in a hitter's arsenal, you're going to be successful. And there's not a lot an offense can do about it when a guy has the ability to locate and change speeds.
So it was a nice pickup then. Do they have enough to go all the way, in your opinion?
Yeah. Yeah, they do. They do. If their starting pitchers can be on a roll, and you only need three of them, you just need three of them. Starting pitchers on a roll. Obviously, you got to keep the offense going. Bo Bichette. There's a couple of guys that are going to need to step up because a lot of opportunities that are coming Bo's way, Vladdy's way. Um, they're not going to happen in the postseason. They're going to make the Varshos beat them. They're going to make Chargers beat them. They're going to make the guys that don't have track records, awards next to their name. That's how it goes. That's why you see a lot of unsung heroes in the postseason because they're forced to step up because they're not going to sit there. We literally go through every single time we have a pre-series meeting. Who's the guy or guys that we're not going to let beat us? These are the guys. Well, right now, if I'm the opposition, Bo Bichette's not getting anything to hit. Anything. Go ahead. Who's the next guy? You beat me. You beat me.
Vladdy worth the money?
I think so. And I applaud the Jays. Like, wow, what what a creative contract. I love it. I mean, that's just I mean, I'm from LA. I'm a lifelong Dodger fan, and everybody's crying about the Otani deal and the deferred money. And I'm like, why are you mad at the Dodgers? Because they're smarter than you? Because they're better than you at everything? They develop better than you. They play better than you on the field. Like, why are you mad at the Dodgers? Because they got smart and they happened to get the best player in the world to come there, and they paid him what he was worth. And him and his agent realized, yeah, there's a lot of taxation that goes on in Canada or in California. Same deal, same thing, same politics, same population. Um, but you look at the way the Jays got creative with the signing bonus and the bonus structures. He can earn those in Florida. I love the way they did it, and they just got creative. And you're always going to have haters that are going to sit there and go, "Well, why didn't I think of that?" Well, exactly. Why didn't you think of that? Why didn't you think of that? Because you're not as smart, and you deserve to be in last place.
Every league has them. Life has them. As you know,
Yeah,
Zonnie, that's why, we think alike. It's like people got upset when you did that fundraiser at at the bowling alley and there was all the drinking going on. You're like, what did you do
yeah.
to raise money besides nothing? Haters, yeah. We're out of
Exactly.
time.
Why didn't it matter to me?
We got 10.
Why
It's,
not?
it's just the way people are, Greg. It's why we get
Yeah,
along.
I know.
Don't be a stranger. Let's get some phone time.
Yeah, absolutely, bud. Yeah, lots of
Oh, and he out. He gone. World Series champion Gregg Zaun. We just got him going. Great comments from the viewers. We'll be right back.